That was the wonderful Creep by Radiohead, played
On
Kazoo!
Okay. I have a story about Kazoo. Would
Tell
you
me
like
more
to
about
hear it?
that. I'd love to hear about your
Don't
Kazoo
talk
story.
over me. So when I was a child, probably about 10, I used to get a comic regularly, and there was a competition in this comic, and I can't remember what the main prize was, but the lower prize was 1,000 kazoos, which I read as
Great
meaning
prize.
that you'd win 1,000 kazoos rather than 1,000 people would get one kazoo. But I didn't win the prize anyway, so I don't know if I would have got 1,000
That
kazoos
may have been
or
a
just
blessing,
one.
actually.
If you had 1,000 kazoos turn up to your house, what do you think your parents would have said?
I don't know. I do remember when I was, thinking about the competition and entering, I was thinking, what am I going to do with 1,000 kazoos? I mean, where would you keep them? I mean, I don't really have enough space for them, but I don't know what my parents would have said. I mean, sort of, perhaps we would have given some away.
You may
As
have become
presents.
professional.
Yeah.
Could have been years and
Professional
years.
kazoo player.
Probably could have been.
Yeah.
But anyway, it wasn't to be, obviously.
You didn't win.
So as it stands, I'm just a concert pianist. Yeah.
Can you remember what the competition was? What did you need to do?
No idea. But I just remember this thing about the 1,000 kazoos and getting confused about, sort of, why would you need 1,000 kazoos?
Why would you need one?
Why would you need one? Honestly,
exactly,
why would you need
exactly,
one?
yeah.
One kazoo is
I'm not
one too
entirely
many.
sure I even knew what a kazoo was either.
No,
now you do.
And I've just played a kazoo for you, and I don't even know what a kazoo is, really.
No.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for that story. That was a great start. Our guest today is my very special mother, who's coming all the way from sunny Cheltenham to join us today at Ffion and Rory's opulently decadent eatery of thrill, wonder and delight. Maureen, can you tell us a little bit about what you've been up to lately?
Well, I have mostly been teaching yoga, which is kind of what I do. And last week I went to London to see a play called Oedipus, which was set in modern times. And I was thinking, well, how are we going to get this in there, that there's a chap in modern times who kills his father and marries his mother? Anyway, they did it. It was very clever.
Did he know that he'd killed his father and married his mother? Because I know the original Oedipal story is that they do not.
He did not know either of those things.
Yeah.
And he did not know for quite a long time.
No.
And it all unfolded in the course of the play, which was very, very good.
And how would you rate the play out of 5 stars?
I would give it 4.
Yeah. Do you consider yourself a purveyor of the arts?
Sometimes, yeah. I quite like some of the visual arts, performing arts.
Yeah.
And I did also go to the art exhibition at the Wilson the other day. And they've got a few Barbara Hepworths down there, a few Terry Frosts. There you go.
Lovely.
And I've even heard of those 2 people, so I think I'm probably, sort of very arty.
I would say that's extremely high-profile art.
Well, I'd say that's probably more than about 80% of the population.
Probably more.
I couldn't name any artists. Well,
Banksy.
maybe a few. Banksy. Does he count?
Yeah, counts. He's
Banksy
very
counts,
famous. He's probably our most famous living artist, isn't he?
Yeah.
What about the one with the
Tracy
old
Emin,
Jackson
something.
Pollock?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And who's the one that did Damien Hirst?
Yeah.
Oh,
The
yes.
weird stuff.
Yeah.
I know those.
Mm.
That group.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's what I've been doing in the last week. I also probably had COVID, but I'm sort of seem mostly recovered from that.
Yeah, you look in fine fettle.
Yeah. That's what I've been up to.
Perfect. Thank you very much for talking to us today.
Thank you for asking me about my food preferences on any given day.
Now, Maureen, this is a very special eatery. When you come to us, you can eat anything you want at any time you like. You can drink anything you like at any time you'd like. We have the best staff available to you, and they will appear exactly as and when you need them. But it's more special than that, because at this place, you get to choose everything. So we'll start with this.
And you don't get full.
And you never
feel
get
like
full.
that's
Well, I
an
think
important-
that's vitally important.
Yes,
isn't
it is.
Because
You
if
don't
you
get
got
full.
full, I mean,
It would be rubbish.
It would be a disaster.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it?
It should also be noted on the same line that in the opulently decadent eatery of thrill, wonder and delight, any meals can be constructed. You could have an Italian first course, an Indian middle course, and 6 chocolate sundaes to finish, and you would not notice that those cuisines didn't go along with one another, because this place
Well,
is a
surely
dream.
they do, if that's what you want.
Well, I was about to
Exactly.
argue anyway, so
Exactly, they do.
Yeah.
But we'll start with this.
Hmm.
You walk up to the eatery. What does it look like in your dream?
There's a lot of glass. It's obviously by the sea,
Obviously.
overlooking the sea.
Yeah.
Without loads of plebs walking in front,
No,
obviously.
plebs.
Plebs
It's
free.
quite, yeah.
So,
So, there's a great view.
yeah.
And obviously my table
Yes.
would be very near to the window.
Of course. By the window, would you be the closest to the window?
Oh, yes.
outside on like a little balcony area, maybe.
No,
Too windy.
Sometimes it might be a bit windy.
Bit windy.
Would you have the
Sometimes
opportunity
there
to...
might be wasps.
Seagulls,
sort of
stealing
seagulls,
chips.
yeah.
You
This,
can't risk it.
I have to
don't
say,
want any
this
of
is...
that.
That's mother talking, isn't it?
Hmm.
Even in the dream, we
Even
have to
in
be
the dream, there's
careful
violent
that there
seagulls.
might be violent seagulls. There could be too much wind, and there might be a wasp.
There
So
might be, yes.
We'll have to stay inside. We've got to stay away from the dangers. We've got to keep
Yeah.
ourselves safe.
Yeah.
And there
at all
might be an
times.
edge.
There might
If
be
there's an edge. I
We
mean,
can't-
Sheer drop.
We've got to stay away from those things.
Yeah,
So
we're inside.
you're
away
inside.
from the wind.
It's beautiful. It's glass everywhere. There's an ocean view.
Yeah.
What's the waiting staff like? How many waiters are there? Are they familiar? How are they dressed?
I haven't really considered that. I mean, I suppose they might be wearing normal clothes, their own clothes that they feel comfortable in.
Yeah.
And they would be polite.
Yeah.
But not ask me every 5 seconds if I'm okay, if I'm enjoying this.
Yeah.
And butting in when I'm talking to people at my table.
Polite from a distance.
Yes, they want to make sure that I'm enjoying my food.
Yeah. And would they be the sort of waiters who'd come over and tell you the story of each meal?
Oh, I
they bring?
hope not. Honestly.
Pet peeve, is it?
Yes, this olive came from this tree in Greece, and we sourced that tree back in 1982. I mean, who wants to know that?
I'm not sure I've
want
been
your
to a
food.
restaurant nice enough to have ever experienced that. Is that something you're experiencing a lot?
That was a Jamie Oliver franchise where they were selling food at really absurd prices.
Yeah.
But, sort of making it sound good by telling you which tree or which branch of which street they came from. But actually, they were just really upping the prices. And the food was, it was an
average.
olive. It was a plate of olives, and they were fine. But, they weren't, I didn't need to know the provenance of them.
No.
Yeah.
Not normally.
No.
So you've come in, you've got some polite waiting staff, but they're not super familiar. Who are you with? Because you mentioned earlier that they wouldn't bother you and the people you were with.
Well, it would probably be my family. Yeah, and sort of perhaps anybody else that I particularly liked at that point in time. But
Would it be a big group, a small group? What's your
wouldn't
dream
be
size?
too big. Probably about 6 is enough. If it gets much bigger than that, you can't talk individually to everybody. And then the group starts to split into other smaller groups.
Yeah.
So I think 6 is a nice number. 8 is also possible, or 4, or 3, or 5. But probably
6 is a good number, I think.
So you're sitting at your table, you've got your friends around with you. What does the table actually look like in your dream restaurant?
I think it'd be a round table.
Oh.
And how many Christmas trees would that table be?
So that would be a 15-foot slim tree.
Ah. Now this is one of the ways that my mother and I have diverged as I've gotten older. As a youngster, I was taught to measure things only in slim trees.
Yeah.
But as I've gotten older, I've moved away from that a little bit, and I've started to use the regular size of tree.
Like they do in America.
Like they do in America. Absolutely
yeah.
right. So we've got a 15-foot slim tree. Is it dressed? Is it plain? Is it a lovely wooden tree? Table?
Yeah, I was very confused then. I wasn't sure whether you were still talking about the tree or we were actually talking about the table.
We were talking about the
The
table.
table, I think, doesn't really matter, but I think because it's a nice view, let's say it's got a crisp white tablecloth on
Nice.
it. Don't want any flowers on the table.
No.
Thanks.
No, well,
I
they
don't-
just
I
get in
don't
the way.
want,
don't they?
Obstruct view, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. And I don't want big, bits of candles sticking up in the air either.
No.
But there could be candles at a low level. That would be fine.
Nice. And your waiter's coming over and he's asking you, or she, they're asking you For the table, madam, still sparkling water.
Well, I'm going to start with sparkling, and later on I'm going to have still.
Perfect. Would you want
start
them
with the sparkling?
Yes.
Would you want them to come at the same time?
No.
So you'd want sparkling first.
I want sparkling with my sort of amuse-bouche.
Mm-hmm.
Like a
My
palate
starter.
exciter.
Yes. Yeah. And then still during the meal, the main meal.
And how would that be? Would it be coming in bottle? Would it be coming?
Well, it would obviously be coming from a soda stream. But we wouldn't let your father operate the soda stream, because otherwise it wouldn't be sparkling, would it? It'd be sort of a bit.
Is he not?
Unzingy.
It would be.
He likes a
without
flat
zing.
sparkling water.
Well, I don't know that he likes it, but he certainly. That's all he will.
That's what
provide.
he
Ffion,
makes.
you should see him operate the soda stream at some point in time, and then taste some of the sparkling water.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is he aware that it's not sparkling, or is he just
He
kind
is.
of...
He must.
He's grinning
be,
through it.
because I have never seen him make it and not commented on it, and nor has Mum. So he must be aware of it on some level. But I think there's a part of my dad that really enjoys playing into those things once he becomes aware of it. So he'll never now use more than a half pump.
Right. Okay.
Any fruit in the sparkling water?
No.
Or just soda stream? Cold, I'm assuming?
Cold, but not freezing, you know, and I don't need ice in it either.
Okay, cold, no ice, lovely. And with the main, you've got water coming. Is that in a jug? Is that bottled?
Yeah, that would be fine in a jug.
Jug of water. And again, temperature of that water?
Well, not warm, cold.
Cold, not warm. Ice with that?
No.
Any fruit?
No.
This is an ice and fruit-free situation.
I'm seeing that. I'm starting to develop a real understanding of that now. Okay. Is that something you've always had? Ice and fruit out of your water? Get your ice out of my water?
No ice, no slice.
No, I mean ice is okay sometimes, and so is lemon, but or lime. But you know, sort of actually, if you're having it with a meal, you don't need either of those things. You don't need anything to distract from your food, do you? Or detract from your food.
How do you feel about other fruit in water? You know, when they put cucumber in and mint and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't mind that actually. But I would
Bizarre
still wouldn't really want it with my meal.
Oh, okay.
You know, sort of it's quite nice before, a bit of a flavour in your water.
Yeah.
But during your meal, it's like, why do you need that? You don't. Well, personally, I don't. But
Poppadoms or bread, Maureen?
bread.
No
Definitely
hesitation.
bread. No.
We're a family
not
of
poppadoms.
breadheads.
That is true.
I like poppadoms, but you've got so much more selection of bread, you see.
Okay,
So
yeah.
many choices with bread.
What kind of bread are we going for?
Well, I haven't quite decided. Could be sun-dried tomato bread or
Oh.
olive bread.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or a combination of the two. Maybe a bit of focaccia with some rosemary and sea salt on the top.
Ooh.
Any oils, butters?
Olive oil, obviously.
Olive oil.
Yeah. And unsalted butter.
Unsalted?
Unsalted butter.
When did this start?
Don't know, it just came into my head now.
Really?
Yeah. Just thought, it's got to be unsalted butter.
Unsalted?
Unsalted, yeah.
Oh, I suppose if you've got salt on the
Yeah.
focaccia,
Yeah.
you don't need it.
Okay.
And now for a word from our sponsor. Zip! Firelighter cubes, 100% natural. Zip's 100% natural firelighter cubes are made using 100% natural waxes and FSC certified wood, making them fully sustainable and a great choice for the environmental conscious.
Now you can start fires with all of your friends!
Yay! Zip! Responsible grilling! Buy the big box!
Shut it down.
With 20 firelighter cubes for extra grilling power. Thanks to our sponsor Zip for sponsoring this episode of Ffion and Rory's Opulently Decadent Eatery of Thrill, Wonder and Delight.
The studio is very warm. Toasty.
Yeah. There's probably a fire here, isn't there?
So, Maureen, we've heard about your bread, we've heard about your water, now we'd like to hear about your starter.
What about my other drinks?
We'll come to that in a moment. Thank you very much.
God, thank God you will.
We've only got 2 bottles of still and sparkling water here. We need more fluids.
Come on, to call yourself a restaurant.
Okay, we're going to just rewind that one. So, Maureen, we've had your order of water, we've had your order of bread. What would you have for your drink?
I think that would be champagne, please.
Champers. And how would that be served to you?
In a glass. Without any additions of lime, lemon, cucumber, mint,
no ice,
tarragon.
Yeah.
No.
What
ice.
about when they do the single raspberry
single
atop the
raspberry
rim?
would
Yes.
be fine. Yes.
Is it a flute, a boat?
A flute?
A flute.
Yes.
Are you...
Or you could have.
Wasn't such a silly question after all, was it? How would that be
You
served
could
to
have
you?
a sauce, couldn't you?
Yes, I quite like those.
Yeah.
Well, I'm afraid, Maureen, we'll have to push you on that one.
What?
Is it a flute or a saucer?
Flute.
Perfect.
Are you brand loyal to a specific?
Nah.
No.
And would the flute be cut glass or crystal or colourful?
No, it'd just be a plain crystal glass.
Okay. Now, through the course of the meal, of course, that champagne will be refilled as and when you finish the glass. Would there be a point at which you would want the waiters to cut you off? Let's say you're 7 glasses deep in your champagne. Would there be a point where you'd say, look, to be honest, I think the waiters need to step in here and help me out?
Yeah, I think it would be helpful if they could just sort of suggest that Madam was a little bit sozzled.
Yeah.
And maybe,
Madam's
that should
causing
stop
a scene.
now. Yeah.
And when
Would
would you...
Madame care to stop?
Absolutely.
Would Madame care to stop drinking?
Well, quite. I think that would be useful if they could do that.
Are you filling your own glass, or are they coming over to the table every so often and filling the glass for you?
They would do that, yes.
Would they do the same with the water at the time that they'd done that? Would you be less
they
interested
might
in
do.
that?
I mean, my arms might not work at that time, so it would be
When they
helpful if
come
could do
over and
that,
refill your glass, do you stop your conversation and kind of sit in silence waiting for them to finish, or do you just continue as if they weren't there?
Well, it depends. If there's a conversation in full flow, you sort of try and keep it going, but obviously it's not their conversation, and if it's really lame, then,
if
then
you feel
might stop.
you're
Or if
slightly
it's really
embarrassed,
quite personal, you might stop.
You have to do the awkward.
Yeah. So you sort of try and carry on if it was relatively neutral, but sort of really if it was none of their business, you probably quite encourage them to be quick.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks.
So you've ordered your champers, you're getting merry with your pals.
Mm-hmm.
The waiter comes back over.
Yeah.
You've had a time to look at the menu, and he asks you, what are you having to start, madam?
I'm having the moule marinière.
Oh, lovely.
Fries,
bread, both?
Bread.
Bread.
Remember, you
Just
can't get
plain
full.
baguette.
Yeah.
Plain
Baguette, yeah.
butter?
So you can dip into the sauce. No. Don't need it. Just don't need it.
You don't really with a good moule marinière, do you?
No, not with that nice winey, garlicky sauce.
Oh,
yeah.
it's gorgeous.
Oh, yeah. But
Fantastic.
the mussels have got to be really plump.
Huge.
No, just plump.
Just plump.
They don't need to be massive, but they just need to be plump.
And how many mussels do you think should be in a good moule marinière?
Oh, a pile.
How many
like
Christmas
the size
trees?
of sort of a fat Christmas tree stem.
Yeah.
About a 6-inch size of a saucepan.
Okay. I'm liking that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a good chunky amount of moule. And would you be sharing that around the table?
No.
Would you be wanting to be able to share other people's starters around the table? Is your dream restaurant?
Not necessarily. No. If, because I think if everybody's choosing their own food, I might have a taste if I'm offered, but I don't need a taste of everybody's.
It's a
I
question.
can choose
Actually.
my own food.
In your dream restaurant, would you want there to be sharing of food?
There could be, yeah. I mean, it would be nice. I mean, I love a Middle Eastern meze, for instance, where everybody just dips in and then you sort of fight over the last falafel or sort of whatever. But you could always ask for more, couldn't you?
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, if you ask for it, it's coming.
And the terrible thing about if you're eating in a group and then you get terrible food envy.
Yeah.
Because you've ordered the wrong thing and you look at somebody else and you sort of think,
The blood starts to boil.
I honestly, I think the moule is a great choice for that then, because I think it's most often the food stuff that gives other people food envy. There's something about the
It's
smell
quite
of it and the way.
theatrical, isn't it? The whole
Yeah.
And it's coming in steaming.
You get the finger bowl.
You do,
Yeah.
and your area becomes so much more full than everyone else's. And everyone's
Well, that's
looking at
right, and
the
there's
great
just
green
sort of
and-
shelves
Yeah.
littering
Yeah.
everywhere, isn't there? And you haven't got enough room for the shelves, and they're all over the table. Then you need 12 finger bowls, and you've spilt most of the sauce down your front.
Well, ideally,
Yeah.
that would be a part of your dream experience.
Obviously,
I
you have a
assume.
big napkin as
Yeah.
well.
You'd have
You know,
it.
almost like a tablecloth.
Are you a
around
napkin tucker into the? No.
No, but
No.
on that occasion, I might.
You would have to,
a little
yes.
bit, yeah. Possibly. Who knows?
Is there a particular moule marinière experience that you're thinking of when you order your moule as a starter?
No, but I think when Dad and I used to go to France a lot when we were younger, you know, we always had moule marinière, and quite often as a, you know, a restaurant overlooking the sea. So it always brings back quite nice memories.
So actually, it'd be quite a nice place to have it, wouldn't
Yeah.
it? Because it would evoke those memories. Would the waiters have a French accent as they brought it out to you?
Well, yes, as they've already told her, Madam,
Of course.
Yes.
would you like to stop drinking?
Yeah.
Yes.
So actually, the
We already
waiters
know.
are
Yes.
all
They're
Yeah.
French.
they're Frenchies,
And they're judgmental.
and they're highly judgmental,
Yes.
as
Yeah.
any good French waiter should
Yes.
be.
Yeah.
Actually, the French waiters are by far the cruelest of all the waiters I've ever known.
Absolutely. They would have no issue in telling you to stop drinking.
No, none whatsoever.
Yeah.
No.
So you've ordered moule. You're having a great time. It's in the style of the great Breton restaurant.
Yeah.
You're loving it. Your friends are all there. But now you've finished.
Yeah.
The last moule is gone. The waiter's back. I don't know why, but in this restaurant, they don't order the starters and the main at the same time. They come between meals. I suppose it's to give you a chance to reset. And he says to you, Madam, I can see that you have enjoyed your moule. What would you like for your main?
Okay, for my main, I would like a bœuf bourguignon, s'il vous plaît.
Sticking with the French theme.
Oui, oui. And with that, I would like triple cooked chips with mayonnaise.
So this is not your side yet. This is coming as a part of the main.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had never considered eating chips with a beef bourguignon. I'd never even thought that was a possibility.
It is. I mean, you don't get full, do you? So
No,
you've got
no,
all
but I
these
just-
lovely flavours.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, you can dip your chip into the gravy.
We're talking chunky chips?
Yes, they've
Right,
got to
okay.
be thick cut chips.
Thick.
And ideally, they are going to be 3 across,
The Jenga.
3 on top,
Oh.
3 across,
Lovely.
and they're going to be really thick and chunky. I once had some chips like that in Selfridges in Manchester. They were the best chips I have ever had.
Wow.
And I went to Selfridges in Bristol once to see if they had them, but they didn't, so I couldn't buy anything there, could I? I just wanted the triple cooked chips
You've
with
been
the
let
mayonnaise
down.
on the side. Yeah.
Do you know, I do think there's something in that a really great chips experience requires actually very few real chips. We're talking 9
Yeah,
chips here,
they were
Robbie, that's all.
chips,
Mm.
yeah.
But when you have the right 9 chips, that's more than enough.
Yeah.
They were absolutely divine.
Yeah.
They were. Yeah.
So you've got your beef bourguignon, you've got your triple cooked chips.
Yeah.
What are you having on the side?
This is a bit random.
Okay.
But I am going to have alias dal.
Okay.
I love this.
Okay. So your beef bourguignon, your Tetris of not your Tetris, your
Jenga.
Jenga of chips,
Mm-hmm.
and then a bit of dal. Can
Yeah.
you describe the dal to us? Because I have never had it, but it is talked about often in the family.
Yeah. Well, alias dal, it's just, I don't know, I think it's just the way she does it. It's slightly, a little bit soupy.
Yeah.
But very gently spiced. It's not hot, but it's just very comforting. It's lovely.
Yeah.
It's really delicious.
And you
Dal
think
is mainly lentils, am
Yes,
I right?
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
it's pretty much only lentils, and then you put some stock in and a lot of spices generally.
Sometimes some onions, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure if she
Yeah.
always does onions. I don't know.
Are you dipping your chips in the dal?
No,
That's a step too far.
that's going to be more a taster just because it's so lovely.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's going to be a little side.
Mhm.
And then also you have to have green stuff. So
Yeah.
I would have a broccoli sesame salad.
Okay. Are you thinking of a particular one here when you say broccoli sesame
Ken
salad?
Om.
Yeah.
His recipe.
Yeah. Will you have Ken come to do it for you?
No, anybody could do it who's competent.
But we must have the Selfridges chips.
Yes, you've got to
That
do
is a
Selfridges
necessity.
chips, yeah.
It's the Manchester Selfridges chef from whenever
from
you went.
about 20 years, 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah, so circa 2010, Selfridges chips from Manchester. That chef's come in to do your chips.
Yeah.
But Ken On can bugger off.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that about Ken On. He's very good, but it's a fairly straightforward recipe as long as it's okay. Yeah.
Now for a word from our sponsors. Burt's Bees Almond and Milk Hand Cream. Crème pour les mains.
Make dry, chapped hands a thing of the past with Buzzy Burt's Buzzy Hand Cream made from almond and milk. Let us lend you a hand with Buzzy Burt's Hand Cream.
Bzzz.
It's more like cement actually than anything else. It's really gloopy. I don't like it.
You've tried it, have you?
Yeah, it's really cementy.
Oh, that's a shame.
We're so sorry about that, Bert. We'll get that sorted for the next take. So you've ordered and enjoyed your starter, your main, your side. The waiter's taken the plates away. There's an amiable lull in the conversation, so he comes back over. He struts back over with his little bow tie on, which he's put on between the two courses. And he says to you, Madame, what would you like for pudding?
First of all, I would like a green salad with a light dressing, please.
Sorry?
Just to clear my palate.
Okay.
Before I go into my pudding.
Okay. So
strange.
There's a green salad with light dressing, which we're having as part of pudding. But
before,
so I know it's a pre-pudding, but you wouldn't be ordering if it wasn't for the fact that you're going to have pudding. So so the first course of your dessert course is green salad with light dressing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you've noshed on that. You enjoyed it hugely.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have to ask, is this something that you've done before?
I don't know. I've definitely had salad after a meal before.
Okay.
Yeah.
So green salad, talk me through what's in it.
Well, there'd be rocket, definitely.
Yep.
There'd be a little bit of lamb's lettuce.
Oh, yeah.
Bit of watercress. Bit of just green lettuce. Doesn't really matter what sort. You know. And a nice sort of mustardy, vinegary dressing.
Nice.
Perhaps a little bit of honey in there.
You've enjoyed that.
Yeah.
It was shocking. The waiter's trembling in his boots now because he doesn't know what you're going to say next. But he comes back over and says, Madame, can I interest you in something sweet? Maybe this time?
Yes, I'd like a chocolate fondant, please.
That's more like what I was expecting.
With some raspberries on the side.
A chocolate
fondant.
Okay, got it, yeah. Yeah, with raspberries on the sides.
Yeah, and a bit of crème anglaise.
Ooh, we're sticking with the French.
We are sticking with the French.
I'm sensing a big love of French food.
Well,
plus the dal.
If you're having a sort of blowout meal, I don't think you can beat French, really.
Yeah, they're good at packing in calories into small spaces.
Oh, God, I did mean to fit somewhere in a papaya salad, but I haven't managed to. Maybe
you could have that as one of your sides.
Yeah, I'll have that as one of my sides.
What was the starter? Have it with the starter.
Yeah.
Mole and papaya salad?
It'd probably go better with the
dal bourguignon.
Yeah, dal bourguignon. Yeah. Yes, dal bourguignon.
Of course, just salad. Crying out for a papaya salad.
What this table needs is a papaya.
Yeah.
So, great, you've got your chocolate fondant with raspberries and crème anglaise.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add to that?
No, after that I would have coffee.
Okay, coffee. What sort of coffee are you having?
Coffee with milk.
Okay.
Not cappuccino. Then.
And you let them do what they will. They normally bring the same sort of thing, don't they? You wouldn't have cream with it. It's just milk.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, are you thinking of a particular chocolate fondant when you order that? No. You haven't had one that really sticks out to you that has lodged in your brain?
No, just a bit of chocolate. I think is a very good end to a meal.
I think most people agree that chocolate is a truly fantastic end to the meal. Now for a word from our sponsors.
It's not Christmas without Delia Smithmas. Look at my 700-page book full of wonderful old-timey Christmas recipes, such as spiced preserved tangerine and Cumberland rum butter.
The grandkids will love it.
Just take a look at my glazed nut topping and roasted hare. It doesn't get any Christmassier than this with Delia Smithmas's Christmas book.
Go on, Delia. Okay. You've sent the waiter away one final time. He's taken your plates, but then he sidles back up with the bill. He places it in front of you delicately.
Yeah.
And he turns his back.
Yeah.
In your dream restaurant, are you leaving a tip?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The usual tip of...
A jar of pennies.
Well, if I've got a jar of pennies, but I don't have any with me, so I just add 12.5% to the bill.
Okay. And would you be precise about that? Would you be calculating it? Or would you just be spitballing?
Most places do it for you now, don't they?
They do. So if they'd added the discretionary charge, you'd simply pay that and leave that be?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Is that a problem?
No.
Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? Have I said the wrong thing?
We're judging you
I'm
harshly
really
now, and
frightened
we've
now.
written it in your notes.
Yeah,
course.
okay.
Yeah.
I saw him making notes. No, that's what
Have you-
triggered it for me. Yeah.
Have you ever asked them to remove the optional service charge? Have you ever said, could you take that off, please? I don't feel like I've received exceptional service.
I don't know. Definitely not recently. I might have done in the past if, when tipping was less normal than it is now and less necessary than it is now. I don't remember doing that. Do you remember querying a bill in Portugal because Grandpa's starter was, this is like in 1987, his starter was £34.
Wow.
What did he have?
He had
Gold encrusted.
Langoustine, and they were by the kilogram. So his plate was very full.
Wow.
And so we queried that, but it was apparently right. So
Ow.
yeah.
What a move from them.
I mean, I think he was a bit mortified, but we still go on about it every so often.
Yeah, it's quite a funny thing to have.
Once
happen.
you've eaten them.
Yeah, it's not
quite
like
different,
say I
isn't it?
didn't want those.
No,
Yeah.
it's gone
Yeah.
too far by that
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
But I think possibly even on that occasion we might have left a tip, or we're not leaving a tip now.
Yeah.
We haven't got enough money for a tip
I know
now.
you've had £35 off me for some prawns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was just the starter. So
Oh gosh.
ouch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Amazing. Okay. On that bombshell of starter expenditure, we'll take you back through your menu.
Yeah.
You started the restaurant experience by walking into a glass building or glass building with lots of glass on it, and you could see sea views. They were close enough to the sea that no plebs could get in front. And
We early on highlighted there were no plebs.
Yes. You were taken in to sit at your 15-foot slim Christmas tree table
Yes.
with 5 other friends, or with 6 of you in total.
Mm-hmm.
Your waiters for the evening were dressed in their own clothes so that they were comfortable, although there was a late evening change from one of them into a bow tie.
Yeah,
which was
a bit odd.
It was
actually.
odd.
But,
You
I didn't remark
request
on
it.
it. I
Yeah.
didn't request it. I didn't remark on it. I thought, I'm not giving you the attention, mate.
No.
You just don't deserve it.
Absolutely right. And I think that's the way you should treat
Yeah.
these people. Keep them in their place by giving them no
Yeah.
attention.
Yeah.
They are...
Also, he'd maybe stopped drinking after 7 glasses of champagne. So
He has.
That's true.
Yeah.
Your waiters are firm
Mm.
and French
Mhm.
in their style. They will tell you what they think with no holds barred. For example, they will tell you to stop drinking
Yeah.
when you're 7 glasses of champagne deep.
Mm.
You started the meal by ordering some sparkling water as a palate exciter. It was soda streamed, but not by my father, your husband Rob, because he would have made it so that it wasn't sparkling at all. It's cold, but not iced. It's got no fruit in it. Once you finish the sparkling water, it's replaced with a jug of cold water, again not warm, no fruit, although we did discuss that a cucumber in cold water can be tasty, can be nice, but not in this occasion, because here we're looking to enjoy the food and we don't want anything to distract us from that. Then we came to the big question, poppadoms or bread. We chose bread, and we've chosen a trio of breads, a sun-dried tomato, an olive loaf, and focaccia with salt and rosemary, all accompanied with unsalted butter, which drew gasps of shock and horror from across the table. But you stuck with it. You held to your guns,
Yeah,
which was
I
very
might be
important.
wrong, but I'm just, saying that's what I would ask for. Yeah, could be wrong. Who knows?
You can't be wrong in this restaurant. This is your dream. Then you went to your drink. It's champagne in a glass with a single raspberry. The glass is a flute made of plain crystal. And you asked the waiters to tell you to stop by saying, "Madame is a little sozzled," when you'd had 7 or more glasses.
Yes.
You've got to that point rather quickly, I must say,
Yeah,
and you're now
sorry.
back on the water.
Apologies about
Before
that.
the starter even arrived, actually, you'd had 7 glasses.
Well, they keep
Well, they were,
refilling
they were
it.
tiny glasses. I mean,
Yeah,
instead of
it's a
plain glass, it was
mouthful.
yeah. God,
If
yeah.
that. Then on to the starters. It was moule marinière in the classic Breton style, fitting of the restaurant and the restaurant experience you've gone for. It's served with a plain baguette, plump mussels. It's a gorgeous experience. You're the envy of everybody else on the table. That's taken away, and it's replaced with your beef bourguignon, which is accompanied with triple cooked chips. They're thick cut. They come with mayo. There are 9 on your plate, arranged in Jenga style, and these are specifically cooked by the chef of the Mancunian Selfridges, circa 2010.
Yeah.
To accompany this, you've got a dal made by our friend Alia, which is soupy, spiced and comforting.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a broccoli and sesame salad, designed by, but most definitely not made by, Ken On. And you've got a papaya salad to accompany that as well.
Yeah.
So you've also gone for the trio of sides approach that another of our esteemed colleagues went for at this point. Then for your dessert, you've had a green salad with light dressing. Your green salad has rocket, lamb's lettuce, and a mustardy, vinegary,
and
watercress, and just any general green lettuce, and a mustardy, vinegary dressing. And then you've decided actually that's not enough for your pudding, so you've called him back, and you said, actually, I've decided I do want pudding, and it's a chocolate fondant with raspberries and creme anglaise, and to top it all off, it's coffee with milk.
Yeah, and then a Tia Maria.
Oh, yeah.
And a wafer thin slice of mint.
Of course. A little
Slice of mint?
sort of mint
chocolate
slice.
Like an after
like
eight?
an after eight.
Okay, right.
It's a nicer version of an after eight.
Right.
Like the French version.
Okay.
French restaurant
Right.
version of
Yes.
a wafer thin.
So after eight, but luxurious.
Yes, a luxurious after eight.
So to finish, we've actually got Tia Maria and an after eight, but luxurious. Now this is a Tia Maria after you asked the waiters to stop you from drinking.
Yeah.
You've gone back anyway.
She's asked them to stop her from drinking champagne.
Aha, I see. But
Exactly,
you're actually
yeah.
completely
Yes.
comfortable.
And actually, if
Yes.
you're really going to enjoy your meal, you've got your coffee.
You need to have
What
a
could
Tia
be
Maria.
better than a Tia Maria with that?
Yeah.
You're right. You
Yeah,
must
the
have a
double
Tia
coffee
Maria.
hit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that menu? You looking back in the cold light of day, does it feel? Are you happy with it?
Yeah, I am. I mean, it's a bit wintry, especially the main course, but that's because I'm choosing in the winter time, I think. But also because you've also got to have a bit of salad in there. So that's
Yeah,
why the
you've
papaya
summered
salad's in
it
there,
up
the-
with some
the
papaya
broccoli,
and some
yeah,
green
yeah,
salad.
Yeah.
I'm-
And then the green
The
salad.
green salad for
Which
dessert.
I understand is a little bit random, but there
It
you
was
go.
random,
Yeah.
yeah. But I enjoy that.
I think it's been a highlight of the podcast experience so far.
It's the most shocking moment,
yeah,
I think.
so.
Yeah, that and the unsalted butter.
That and salted butter.
Yeah.
They've
Two
rocked.
shocking moments.
They've rocked you,
Yeah.
haven't they?
They have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was surprised slightly by its Eurocentricity because I know that you're actually quite a well-travelled woman at this point, and I'm interested and not necessarily blown away by that, but I'm interested in the fact that actually there isn't so much food from outside of Europe on your menu. But you did say earlier that, of course, the French do blow out food better than anyone else.
Yeah, I think they do, and I think because it is winter, I am really gravitating towards that sort of comfort sort of food that is full of calories and sort of just comfort. Yeah,
Absolutely right.
I do have to question, however, when you say you're looking for things full of comfort and calories, you ordered a green salad for dessert.
Yeah, but That was
That was to
before
balance
the
it out.
actual dessert.
Yeah, that's just to balance it out.
Yeah. And that was to make me feel better about, sort of...
The fondant you're about to eat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
To eat.
To eat.
I went a little bit
You're about to eat
Cornish
that.
there. Well, thank you so much for joining us. It's been lovely to have you.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me. It's been quite overwhelming meeting you two after all this time.
Yeah.
Well, it's been nothing much for us, but we'll
Just
probably...
another day in the office.
Just another day in the office
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah.
But we're pleased that you've
Could
enjoyed
I have your autographs,
Yes,
please? Yeah.
absolutely you can.
Yeah.
If you see my assistant on the way out, he'll give you a pre-signed plate.
Okay. A plate?
A plate, yeah.
I don't want a plate.
You can
I
stick
just
it
want-
onto things.
yeah.
It's a sticker.
Oh, mine's an actual dinner plate.
Yes, Ffion...
Well,
it's fitting.
yeah.
Fitting.
Yeah, that would be much better,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
So you've changed tune quite quickly. You said you didn't want a plate.
I
Well,
didn't
yours is
want
a plate, like
from
a
yours.
metal plate
Yeah.
that you stick onto
Yeah.
things.
No.
Mine's a dinner plate.
No, it's a sticker. It's a term that people use for stickers that you sign. You sign a sticker and then it's called a plate, so you can stick it on something.
Oh, that's
I've
even worse.
never heard that.
No, it's
You've
That's
made
even
that
less
up.
Common
useful.
Right, let's get
Yeah.
her out of here. Thank you very much for coming. It's been great to have you. Well done. And
Thank
that's
you.
quite enough from you for one day.